Howdy ho, ladies and gentlemen. Pronago bringing you another Cosmonarchy cast. We have Shopkeeper Dog in the top right here as our Alice Blue Terran. HippityHoppity in the bottom left as our Magma Zerg. And it's been a while since I've seen Shopkeeper Dog play Terran. He even told me in an interview after winning an Ascosi series last week, as of the time of recording, that he had actually played a little bit of Terran and then realized his mechanics were all wrong. He had fully adapted into being a cybernetic lizard. So, looking forward to seeing him as Terran now. You know, he does like to moonlight as basically any race that his opponent wishes, particularly for practice. But maybe, you know, HippityHoppity was done getting owned by his Ascosi and decided, hey, I'll play against your Terran or something of the sort. They played a bunch of games yesterday, as of the date of recording. I'm recording this on the 19th, and they played a bunch on the 18th. So, interested to see what's going on. I always am cool to see newer players. We have a couple of games here that I might be casting soon of another new player that has joined our ranks and has been playing a good amount. A Terran player, you'll be delighted to know, since we are looking for more of those. So, yeah, cool to see, and maybe I can get a nice couple of matches with that guy in the field, on the field, so to speak. But we'll, you know, keep you posted on that. Of course, subscribe if you're not already for that kind of content, because we do upload every day these days. I've been pretty good at making it to a daily schedule, even if sometimes the uploads aren't at the same time every day. You know, it's better to have it on the day than to have it not at all. So that's my attitude about it. Speaking of attitude, map name is actually Magnetron. Oh, shit. Yeah, attitude is called realignment in Cosmonarchy anyway. We've only seen it a small handful of times be played, period. And you can find games on our website. Cosmonarchy.com/matches is a pretty good way to do it. You can see here Shopkeeper Dog is performing the dark art of mining his minerals out. He's now going to deplete, I guess, 3 minerals, 3 returns faster. I mean, that's just rude, honestly. That's just absolutely rude. What a stinker. Going for a double stockade open, we get to see a rare case where Shopkeeper Dog goes bio, which is always fun. HippityHoppity, a fairly new Zerg, has been grinding out against all the homies, all the goats, shall we say, all the top level Cosmonarchs. So cool to see him get some games going. I think it was Fenris who posted the quandary in our YouTube chat, like, wonder if, you know, like, is it going to be Goosey or is it going to be Hippity? 2 players who joined and got active at similar times, who are going to take the first game off of, you know, the first game taker off of like a class 2 or class 1 player or something like that, right? Who's going to be the first to do that? Well, HippityHoppity is already stealing my heart with his macro hatch. I love that. He went for his expansion a little bit faster than Shopkeeper Dog. I still can't believe God Wheat randomly hit us with a slop cheese or hog. That I'll never forget that one, dude. That was wild. Looks like he's defensively set up to absorb this kind of pressure here. So it shouldn't be anything anybody is concerned about, unless HippityHoppity tried to actually commit to the attack, of course. But he can try to backstab with this army, and Shopkeeper Dog thinks he's gone to the left. This is when you stab back in to the right. We'll see how much HippityHoppity wants to bob and weave. Vornath Pond coming. This army should get somewhat active because the Terrans are moving across the map, and this could be pretty dangerous here. 10 Center could get garrisoned. Indeed it will. Claimed by Shopkeeper Dog. Ministry will finish up here pretty shortly, and then we're going to be looking at the opportunity for Shopkeeper Dog to go into some other tech. Is he just... What is he doing? He's actually going for a triple ministry. Well, his army is about to come in and get a lot of free damage because there's no combat units over here. His, I guess the counterpoint is that HippityHoppity can go for a base race, or at least a counter punch of sorts. Yeah, he's walked in and he's walked out. I'm so confused. I guess he's worried. He's paranoid about getting owned. You know, he takes this few extra, you know, free worker kills or whatever, and then the army walks back. Well, that was a puzzling move. I think Shopkeeper Dog could have either committed the army to get a lot more damage, or he could have, you know, he could have backed up to do something else. You know, if he was, you know, trying to isolate the army. Oh, he's loading everything into the 10 center. What a guy! It's actually getting him some value. That's wild. Well, you can indeed fit 10 infantry units in there. That's not why it's called 10 center, but that was a happy accident, you know? So after losing a couple of workers, Hippity's really greedy and makes more workers. I kind of love it, honestly. I like that he's just impervious to this move. Looks like his worker is scouting the middle of the map, and we'll see that the 10 center is open. I don't know why he's scouting with the drill left. Don't ask me. Macratch in the natural makes a lot of sense. He was floating some minerals. But his shroud is done, so surely at some point he has to make units, right? Starpad coming up here for Shopkeeper Doug. Wants to be wary of the Lakers. I don't think his army got far enough up here to actually see the shroud, but I could be wrong about that. HippityHoppity just continuing to make workers. I mean, he sees it on the minimap, right? Like, surely he sees this. I am under attack. 5 Lakers have begun. Oh. Shopkeeper Dog reacting to the one Drilleth. I wonder if, like, he's just really paranoid about some kind of counter move out. He's going for a tier 2. This might be a meme build, dude. I feel like I'm watching, like, an AI-generated build order or something. Like, what is even happening here? Triple Ministry into a bunch of Cyprian. I guess the Lakers are out now. Calcure Lake. 6 Zorius about to hatch. HippityHoppity is a Calcure enjoyer, a Lyrilusk enjoyer. Although that username is actually Grass Eater. If you ever see Lyrilusk enjoyer, it's probably Grass Eater. On an alt. Everything he does is an alt. If you just went by Grass Eater IDs, you'd think we had like a player population of 1,000. Joke is on you. We have 995. No, just kidding. We do have the Atlas almost complete, though, for Shopkeeper Dog. He finally lifts off his ministry. He's caught up in workers, which is pretty nifty. By the way, Magnetron, a port of Tokamak, if you can recognize the layout. If you're a Starcraft 2 enjoyer, or at any point were, when Tokamak was in the map pool. Does feel like right about now, HippityHoppity's been allowed to get away with some murderous greed. I mean, he was making workers as his opponent like walked into his base, and then he kept making workers after that. So, it just kind of goes to show you, Shopkeeper Dog might be off his game a little bit. Transferring workers down to that mineral-only third. He's got a decent bio army. The Ant Seal is also providing detection in a much-needed radius. Ulgorg on the way, which makes a lot of sense. You definitely want Ultra Cores versus this composition. There's a couple other things you could do, of course, like Mass Bactyl or whatever, but if you're going to go down the Ulgorg Shroud sort of path, then this is a normal and natural expectation. 10 Center will be cracked open. Alas, it was not for this world to persist. And the Captaincy Rush is in effect. He's got 3 of the... Oh, I know what he's just applying Ascosi principles. He made no more than 4 production structures, an extra town center in the early game, and rushed up to tier 2 so he could make tier 2 biotic. Except it's a different race for some reason. What? His landlocked lifted off. That's so weird. Landlock is kind of an epic name for, like, a structure that lifts off, though, if you think about it. That's really cool. It lands and it locks. I don't know. Landlock. Anyway, captaincies are being made. Madcaps, Heracles, the inimitable apostle that is capable of that reclamation. HippityHoppity's been allowed to make a pretty big army. So he's going to, once again, apply some pressure here. See what can happen. I'm not predicting a good move here for the Zerg, but he has forced the lift yet again. Problem is the splash damage with the Cyprian count here is enormous. He's got 14 of the things, and they are just rending the armor in conjunction with the Hurricanes. The Lakers will burrow. That could have caused some flummoxing. Hold on, that was the flank that meant everything for HippityHoppity. He's gonna now have to break out into the Madcaps where they will be doing that increased DPS. The Apostles keeping those Cyprians alive. Force is refocused. HippityHoppity trying to charge forward. His lake is mostly out of position here. Zorius get right on top of just about everything. Can they finally kill one of the Apostles? It doesn't quite look like it. All the way in the back there, the lake is still struggling to actually break out, and the Heracles are going to slow them on their exit. The reclaimed Zorius spitting out reclaimed Rillarokor. Oh, unfortunately the Lyras come out afterwards and pounce on the Terran Cyprian. Oh no, it's right here. Tell a lie. Heracles a little too good. Not even a reclaimed one. Well, we definitely had a fun little set of firefights there. The hold is complete for Shopkeeper Dog. That's the tier 2, advantage, boys. I don't expect this build order will go very well if taken into future matches, but HippityHoppity, happy to be alive-ity. Happy to not be stoppity. There you go. 6 Lakes, 1 Zorius in production. Got a lot of money. Could definitely put down more macro hatch. Obviously, he did take a mineral only, so that contributes. The Mavericks are guarding a lot of the gas bases. 23 Vorvs. Good grief. Well, the Tinkerer's Tower is coming for Shopkeeper Dog. Of course, it's the one in the natural. What else would it be? You know what I mean, guys? He's got a lot of apostles now. I think he really only had the one for the longest time. Yeah, that looks like a long-lasting apostle to me. They don't do a monumental amount of damage. Expanding to the 3 o'clock position. Shopkeeper Dog going to continue his full focus here. Got a Trojan with a Huracan in it for a combat drop. Actually, I think it was a mistake, but that's okay. I could be wrong, though. He could, like, unload it on a bunch of units in the back. Now, Gorgacores are beginning to take to the skies here, morphing into eggs. That's a really good move. But once again, HippityHoppity has 0 awareness of where his opponent's army is. And Shopkeeper Dog can cancel this and then punch the 3rd out. So, are we getting into base race territory again? I mean, I really don't think you're going to get much value out of that here. The Apostles can reclaim the Droleth, and then all of a sudden you have the opportunity to build Zerg units as the Terran player. So instead, HippityHoppity, respecting that this attack is happening, is going to try to sync up with the Gorgs and attack all at once. But the problem is his army is mostly async. Oh, this is a disaster. He's lost 2 Gorgs, a bunch of Vorvs. He definitely needs to respect the consolidated power of this Bio Ball. Some of those Lake is already dead. The Gorg's trying to leverage their splash damage, but it doesn't last for very long. Those Apostles staying alive, the Cleric and Shaman getting that healing. Lake is now finally arriving. Can we see HippityHoppity overwhelm the Bio Ball? It just doesn't quite feel like it. He had no anti-air for the Ant Seals, and he had no way to break through all of the Clerics. GG. In just about 13 minutes, Shopkeeper Dog, he's proven he's not Slop Cheeser Hog. He's got legs. He can play Terran. Again, I really feel like he probably could have won the game like 2 minutes in, but besides his deranged build, I think that shows you some valuable lessons there. The Ant Seals providing detection for the Lake is Terran can shoot back. You know, they're not an army full of melee units or anything like Protoss can be in the early game. So HippityHoppity gonna need to figure some things out in that respect. And he did say that he would sleep on it when Shopkeeper Dog was giving him advice. So I like that. I like the guys he's grinding out a bunch of games. He's like, Kutyam or some of these other guys who pop in Vilius who just like barely ever win a game, but they still keep playing. Yeah, he's one of those homies. So shout out to those guys one time, and we will be back for more Cosmonarchy soon. Thanks for tuning in. GG.